And we are live. Hi, everyone. I am Kel McDonald, and I make comics you can read at kelmcdonald.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Jose Pimienta. You can find my website at josepimienta.com, and I also make comics, usually standalone. How's everyone doing today? How are you doing, Cal?
Doing all right. We got a Kickstarter going on right
I
now.
know, and it's
Uh,
going pretty well.
if you've been stopping by the streams, the past few months, back in I think December-ish, I was coloring pages for Stars Hide Your Fire, which is now on Kickstarter.
Hmm.
And today, instead of drawing while Joe and I chat, Joe and I were gonna read some scenes from Stars Hide Your Fire and
Yeah,
answer some questions for folks.
totally.
So I'm just gonna tweet that we're live real
Hmm.
quick.
And for anyone who is here in the chat, we just want to remind you that the Kickstarter is live and under the title of the book, which is Stars Hide Your Fire. If you haven't backed it up yet, now's a really good time to go do that because it's a really awesome book that we're really happy that we worked on it. Cal and I had worked together about a decade ago, and now it's really awesome to see that we're doing it again. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's uh,
All right. So this is the opening scene from Stars Hide Your Fire.
mhm.
I'm going to play the character Dara.
And I'm going to be playing the character of Andrea or Andrea,
All right.
depends on how you want to pronounce it. So, without further ado, without further ado, do you want us to just like start off, or
Let's get this show on the road.
let's get this road on the show? All right, three, two, one,
Yeah, I'm just gonna. All right, I got the. All right, I'm on the right window. Here we go.
solid. Hurry up, Dara.
Oh, god damn it. Technical difficulties.
That's okay.
I thought I heard something.
You're being paranoid.
I just don't want to get caught.
Fine then. Stay here.
Hey, wait up! Andrea,
If you're so worried about getting caught, you should stop shouting.
just, I don't know. Be careful. And how on earth do we get in?
There's a little crack. Maybe we can find something to pry it open a little, at least enough for us to get in.
Do you really think we'll find a ghost?
No, probably not.
It'd be wicked cool if we did, though.
Yeah, it would. That's that's how I know it won't happen. Because nothing cool happens here. I can't find anything to pry the door. Maybe if I smash a window, we can climb in.
Wait, don't. We could get in a lot of trouble for that, more than if it's just trespassing. And the door might be old enough that we can force it open.
Fine.
Er,
The rock might be easier.
This is safer.
I don't know about safer. Looks like a good chance of looks like a good chance of tetanus.
Could you help push, maybe?
Great. Let's go.
Oh man, I think I ruined my shirt.
Whoa. This place is really scary. This place is something's it's a little too small.
It says this place is amazingly creepy.
Yeah, this place is amazingly creepy. When was the last time you think someone was here? Probably like 100 years ago.
More like 60. In history class, they said it was open from 1850 to 1955, or maybe it was 1957.
Neat. Do you remember what happened?
I think the company got bought and moved to Switzerland.
Makes sense. Why stay here when you could be anywhere?
I don't know. Switzerland's kind of cold. Brr. No, thank you.
I would take cold over board.
So, where do you think the ghost might be?
There's not gonna be a ghost.
Cli-
I
What? What was that?
don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
Wait, what? No, it could be the cops.
Why would the cops be in here?
Okay, we should still leave. It could be like a junkie squatting in here, or a coyote, or something else dangerous.
I just want to look, then we'll leave.
Well,
Just give me a minute. Chikeek! Dara, check this out.
the ow.
You okay?
My butt might be sore for a day, but I'll live.
You won't believe this, but I saw the ghost.
Are you sure it wasn't a person? I'm pretty sure I saw someone.
You're being paranoid. I got pictures.
And that is the end of the first scene.
That is the end of the first scene. That's the opener. That is
Yeah.
how I spilled a little bit of water on the table because I'm
And
drinking water and other things. Yeah, so speaking of drinks, I also have this other drink over here that I also made for this. Do you want to talk about this, Cal?
yeah, so Joe and I commissioned a little custom drink for Stars Hide Your Fire,
Hmm.
which the recipe's up on the screen. Um and it's made by Marche Parker, who
Hello.
is um I need to look up her Instagram. Give me a moment.
That's okay.
She sent it to me. But basically, I told her that since the book's aimed at teens, it should be non-alcoholic, and purple's important to the story. So, if possible, can we make it purple?
Hmm, hmm.
And we have this delicious little raspberry blackberry lemonade, specially made for Stars Hide Your Fire.
Yeah, so anyone looking at the stream can you can actually look at the ingredients over here and follow step by step on how to prepare it. And I mean, it's really refreshing. And like we said, you can just have it at any point during the day. It's also just nice if it's warm outside,
Hmm.
or if you're being cozy indoors.
Okay, Marche's Instagram is Shaken Spirits 503.
Hmm.
And so you can see more of her work there.
Yeah.
Uh, and now we got Amanda, who is hosting the Iron Circus YouTube mirror of our reading.
Hmm.
Um, Amanda, have there been any questions in the chat?
No, not on my side. I'm basically YouTube half. Hello, I'm the YouTube half.
All right.
Thank you, Amanda, for being here. We also want to thank Amanda for doing the animation that accompanies the video on the Kickstarter that you can also check out. It's great, and
Yee.
we just want to give Amanda credit for that.
Thank
And
you.
in the meantime, yeah, you can just look at if you want to. Cal, could you zoom in on the drink a little bit more, just so we can just so for anyone who is streaming.
Yeah, hold on. I might have to.
Anyway, if anyone on YouTube has a question, I'm also going to quickly switch over to the I didn't plan this well. The Twitch stream. Oh, I don't have a link. I'm going to have to go to Kel.
It's It's Kel McDonald on Twitch.
Twitch.tv/Kel McDonald. Let me pause the video so it doesn't autoplay because I just want to see the chat to see if there are any questions.
There aren't any.
Oh, well, okay.
All
right.
We're good.
Oh, we have a question from someone named Spike Troutman. I assume the C stands for Cynthia. Question: what inspired this story? Also, why would a loving God allow suffering?
Seems like a very pointed question.
Okay, so what inspired the story is the town I grew up in is famous for making watches during the Industrial Revolution. This thing is not letting me zoom in on the recipe. It keeps wanting to go to the next panel. But basically, so yeah, my hometown, the town I grew up in is Waltham, Massachusetts, and it has a watch factory that hold on. Does this work? No, it doesn't. So basically, yeah, they were famous for making watches. That's what the factory that Andrea and Dara are breaking into. And those dates are basically what the watch factory was open toward. It is not actually abandoned in real life. It has been turned into artist lofts where hipsters live.
So for anyone with the intention of going to trespassing, please don't do that.
Yeah, you'd be breaking into someone's house. But I sent Joe a bunch of cool pictures of the outside of it.
I actually got to visit it, so
yeah.
So.
And I thought you visited the Fernald, not the watch factory.
I got to see both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, like it's we can talk about this later. First, keep talking about the story.
Yeah, and so the other part of the inspiration is I was reading Something Wicked This Way Comes, and was like, I want a story like this, but with girls that are friends, and like, because I liked the way the two boys in that were written, especially there's a line where it talks about the two boys were throwing rocks at an abandoned building, and says that one boy threw one more rock than he would have if his friend wasn't there, and his friend threw one less rock if the main character hadn't been there. And so kind of like showing that how they're influencing each other and how that's like affecting the world around them. And then so I kind of just liked that sort of relationship where it's like neither of them are particularly good kids, but they're not bad kids, but they're like they bounce off each other well. And I felt like I didn't see that many stories about girls that were focused on that sort of friendship. And so I was trying to go for that vibe of like spooky supernatural thing with teen girls that had that kind of friendship. So that's what inspired it.
Yeah, that's that is basically what grabbed my attention when we first started talking about this. It's been a few years. And yeah, and I did like the way that you pitched it to me, that it is essentially, it's these two friends in the middle of a crossroads, and as someone who also loves coming of age stories, the way that you were proposing this story is that it just seemed to focus very much on the dynamic as opposed to just one character.
Yeah.
And that is something that I really liked about what you were going for.
And that's partly from like Something Wicked This Way Comes, because you have like the evil carnival comes to town, and you have one of them really wants to rush growing up, and the other wants to like have them continue to like enjoy their childhood sort of deal. And that sort of push and pull is also reflected in Andrea and Dara.
Yeah, I thought that was like it's that is one of the things that got me really excited to collaborate with you on this on this story. And yeah, I mean, just the sheer focus on these two teenagers and what they're experiencing at the moment, and also how they're interpreting this thing. And it was also very interesting how essentially what happens is that something draws a wedge between their friendship. So even though they have a really good, even though they have a really good dynamic, I mean, the story begins as soon as they are set in their environment, but then something is introduced that becomes drawing a wedge between them, and the entirety of the story depends on what exactly is going to happen now that wedge has already entered.
Also, one of the things in the story is, like I said, it's based off my hometown. I used to get in arguments with my mom about my hometown being boring. And as I got older, I realized why my mom didn't think it was boring, and it's because there is actually plenty to do in my hometown if you are an adult who can legally drink and has their own car. And whereas when I started to be frustrated with my hometown, there was a roller skating rink / arcade that closed when I was 12. And that was kind of the only thing you could do if you weren't of legal drinking age. So the Dara and Andrea breaking into an abandoned building, well, I didn't do that in high school. A lot of kids I went to high school with did that a lot, because what else were they going to do? Like, yeah.
I believe the more appropriate term would be urban exploration.
Yeah.
It's developing a sense of adventure. Yeah, so.
And so a bunch of the other locations that get mentioned in the book are real locations in Waltham. There's a part where Andrea and Dara talk about the old hospital, which is based off the Fernald School, which is not actually a school. I was originally gonna just say the Fernald School, but then was like, that for someone who doesn't know what it actually is might be confusing. And then I looked up its more official name and was like, I don't want to put that in the book.
Yeah, that was a good call. That was a good call.
It's #problematic.
Yes.
If you want to know its full name, just Google the Fernald School. But it is, they call it a hospital because it is a mental institution.
Yes.
That is closed. And Joe, you saw some of the grounds there, correct?
Yeah, I did. So so while we were working on this, you did a really great job at sending me a lot of really good reference and a lot of really cool stuff. But then I also had the opportunity. This was in 2019. While I think we were like 2/3 into doesn't matter. Around in October of 2019, I was traveling to the East Coast because we were going to be doing a convention, and I had the opportunity to visit Boston because I've never been to Boston. But I also just figured, well, if I'm going to be in Boston, I might as well just go visit this town and take a look at it, just like so I can get another sense of what this place looks like. And I got there. I had a good time. It's a very nice place. But I was also surprised to be like, oh no, this looks exactly what Kel captured in the photograph. So it works out great. But it did also help me like just to get like a better sense of scale of like where things are, in relation to each other. But yes, I did have the opportunity to go to multiple of the locations that we use in the book, predominantly for the beginning. So yeah, that was a fun part for me. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So, any more questions, Amanda?
We
Yeah, how
do
we doing
have
over
another question. Jacob Wayland asks,
Uh-huh.
do the purple flowers have any significance in general Faylor, or was that a personal choice?
It's a personal choice because they are nightshade and foxglove. The idea being that they're both very pretty but deadly and poisonous. So it's a metaphor. Uh,
Everything
um,
okay? Oh, sorry. I thought I
oh
lost you there
yeah,
for a second.
and also, um, Carmen is referred to as a fae for simplicity. It is not actually confirmed or denied whether she is actually a fae. It's she says she's a fae, and another character says she is a demon, and you never actually get the answer of which is why it's not really connected to a specific folklore.
Hmm.
That is all the questions we have so far.
Cool.
All
Well,
right.
that seems like a good time to read the next scene.
Yeah.
I'll permit it.
No.
Okay, quickly let me
Well, thank you. Thank
let
you.
me turn the window capture back on, because I actually on my end have a image that I am using to cover the
Oh,
screen.
I finally got it to zoom in. So now
Oh,
someone
look
can.
at that! Now you can actually follow. Also, I'm also going to take this opportunity to be like, we have been posting the recipe in some of our. Well, I've been I believe Iron Circus tweeted it. I
Mhm.
tweeted it as well. I believe earlier this morning. We will continue to tweet it as the campaign goes. So if anyone is
Yeah.
having difficulty looking at the looking at the instructions for
Just
this,
real quick, hey Kel, just let you know, when you scroll the image, the way it's picked up is really choppy, so you're not getting any benefit from zooming in and scrolling through. It's just too choppy.
Okay. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's
Then.
okay. I'm just letting you know so you don't waste your time.
All right. Well, the ingredients are a pack of 6 ounces of raspberries, a pack of 6 ounces of blackberries, fresh lemons, lemonade, a basil leaf, and simple syrup. And you're going to muddle together the raspberries and the blackberries, 2 tablespoons of simple syrup, and a fresh basil leaf. Fill the glass with ice, and then pour lemonade over it, um, and top the glass with garnish and a little bit more syrup to your liking. Uh, so yeah, and then just stir the drink, and the color should become purple. So I'm gonna turn the slideshow back on.
yeah, we're gonna do the next scene.
Da-da-da.
What's
Where's the slideshow? Okay.
Wait. Spike is having a hissy fit. I'm going to ask her other question. It was not answered.
Oh,
Okay.
Also, why would a loving God allow suffering?
Oh,
Oh, because God's not real. That's why.
She ruined our last stream with a similar question.
Okay.
I mean, we could go deep into that question if you really want to answer it, but I'm pretty sure that we're not going to get very far.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
God is dead, and we taught him solar beam.
Doesn't that tell you?
Oh,
I'm gonna
Christ.
throw. I believe. Well, anyways, no, we're not gonna get into. Anyways,
Spike's just being
I'm
a
glad
turd.
that got you to laugh, Amanda.
I got that reference.
Yes. That joke is from the YouTuber Curio's videos, so I cannot take credit for it.
Curio is amazing and does great videos. You should go watch them.
Yeah. Anyway, so we ready for the next scene?
Yeah.
I will be playing Carmen.
And I will be playing the part of Liam.
And Amanda, you said to slow down for the silent panels, so.
Oh yeah, that you were just going through them kind of quick. Have fun.
Okay.
Who's there?
Aren't you cold?
I'm, I'm, I'm fine.
You sure? I could help you find a warmer, drier place to sleep.
Yes.
I could warm you up.
Stop it. I told you I don't want this anymore.
It's what you agreed to.
I didn't know what would happen. What you do to people.
Oh no, my actions have consequences. How will I go on? You can't get something for nothing. You wanted more time. It has to come from somewhere. Hm. You're such a child. Going around pouting because you didn't get your way. Are you sure you aren't cold?
I'm fine. I I don't want any more of your help.
I really need a human who's more fun.
Damn it.
And that's it.
And scene. That
Yep.
kid's gonna be cold. For anyone
Yep.
who hasn't been in New England, it gets cold.
Is in October? Yes.
It gets pretty cold up there.
He's gonna be cold and wet that night.
That is not a good place to be in.
I had another question from Spike that she posted in another channel and not in this one, so I missed it.
Oh, that's funny.
It basically just asking, were y'all shitty teens? This is apparently a trick question because she says all teens are shitty.
I mean, like, there's varying degrees of shittiness in regards to teens, and I was the kind of shitty teen who just sat on their computer and didn't leave their room, like, all night. Because, as I said, there wasn't a whole lot to do, so...
The short answer is yes. Yeah.
Can't relate. I was an angel.
It's I'm trying to be better. Trying to be better.
Well, like Spike said, it was a trick question because all teens are kind of shitty.
Yeah.
It's kind of the point of being a teen, isn't it? You get to be shitty, but with but in like a ideally lower consequence environment so that you can learn, oh fuck, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that when I'm older and have more power.
I remember getting in arguments with my mom, and then other adults defending me and my older brother. Basically, my mom would be annoyed with us for not going out and having social lives, and then other adults that she knew would be like, they get good grades, they don't do drugs, they've never done anything that has gotten them arrested. Like, give them a break.
I mean,
see, I was a shitty teen too, but my mom made the fatal mistake of being very open about what she was like as a teenager, so I always get to be I was an angel. You're so lucky.
No, my mom was probably a shittier teen than I was. Actually, no, I know for a fact that she was. I know one of the stories she told me about her as a teen is someone being told not to hang out with her because she was a thug.
Mm.
Gasp.
Your mom was a thug.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a. I don't know what level of sincerity to go off in here, but I will say like no, it's it's there's trying to move forward, trying to do better.
Listen, I just wanted to watch anime.
That sounds great. That sounds great, but like in reference to like I'll say this, like I did not get good grades. So
Oh, I got good grades.
I didn't
Not because I tried, but
I did not get good grades, and I was probably doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. So yeah, it's yeah. So again, like I do think that it is like a funny and tricky trick question of like were you a shitty teen, but also yeah, there are degrees, and yeah, some of us were shittier than others. So.
Spike, who asked the question, says she doesn't trust anyone who says they were a good person as a teen.
Interesting.
See, I didn't say I was a good person. I'm just saying, relatively speaking, there were shittier teens than I.
I mean, Amanda was an angel. We have learned this.
On the spectrum of shittiness, I was a shitty angel.
Yeah.
Right.
I was a shitty little angel who made good grades and kept her nose out of trouble because she was depressed.
Yeah, basically.
It wasn't
same hat, Amanda.
Yeah, it wasn't
hat.
so much that I was an overachiever or anything. I was just depressed and I had nothing to do, and so therefore making good grades became a good enough hobby until I discovered I could draw, and then that became my new hobby. And then when I realized I could never afford or get into a college, my grades just dropped off. Because it was like, well, what's the point of making good grades? The whole point is to go to college. And then suddenly it was like, hey, you went from like an AP student to like nearly not graduating? Wah, wah, wah. So while I was behaviorally an angel, in the terms of I did not give my parents an ounce of shit, I was still a shitty teen.
Oh, no, I got in arguments with my mom a lot. Mostly about I didn't want to go to church. Hence God is dead and we taught him solar beam. Yeah.
So when you were I'm going to ask a question.
Yeah.
I know when you were writing and designing the characters, a lot of it was based on your childhood. Oh god, the images are flashing by so quickly.
Yep, I'm going back to the first one because I feel like that's a better sitting on page. Let's go back.
Oh, I also well, I can do that I can just turn my image back on that I had to sit on. Here, so for the YouTube, I have my own. Let's sit on this image. Yeah, no one wants to.
There we go.
But yeah, I had a question. So you clearly have based the characters and a lot of the writing on your growing up. Are there any you don't have to name names, but in terms of the design of the characters and things that happened, were any of the characters or what they did based on people you know?
No, not really. I basically told Joe, well, most of the people who lived there when Liam was a teenager were Irish, so Liam's Irish. And then I said, modern demographics of my hometown, about a third of them are the population is Hispanic, mostly Puerto Rican. So I told Joe to pick one of the girls and they will be Puerto Rican.
Since now I'm throwing that ball over to Joe.
Not directly. Like I did look at different. I was looking at. Yeah, it's gonna sound horrible. I was using reference. For
reference is fine.
Yeah. Like I was using reference for what could be for what could be the design of the teenagers. I think the one that I spent a little bit more time considering like how to illustrate was Carmen, because if Carmen presents the Fae uh, of what someone would consider an ideal, I did just spend like a lot of reference just looking at people that I consider to be very fashionable, because I would kind of figure that, well, whenever she's going to make an appearance, she has to look the part. So not directly off of people that I knew, but more like like with many of the characters that I design, or with many of the, or with like some of the comics, it's usually an amalgamation of people that I do know, or the people that I'm looking up to, or the people that I'm looking at, if you will. And that just goes not just with the visual, not just with the, not with just the illustration of the design, as in like, head shape and height and whatnot, but also more in the sense of certain mannerisms, certain expressions, certain things that they can do, like in their quiet. And Kel did make a lot of pointers to me. Like there's a lot of character descriptions that were in the script that I tried to get through in their acting. But personally, I was looking at a few people that I do know, just like for certain mannerisms and for certain facial expressions in particular. So yeah, not directly, but indirectly. Yeah, they're definitely pulling from people in my surroundings. Yeah.
Do we have any more questions from the chat? I'm happy
There
to
aren't
field
any
them.
on our end. Any on
I'm looking
your
at
end?
both.
Okay.
I found a way to watch both chats at once. I'm very strong and
Look
very
at that.
powerful.
Look at that level of sorcery.
Yeah.
Great job. Yeah.
I'm getting better at this whole hosting thing. Ho ho. I'm learning more powers every day.
You should
Powers
are over 9,000.
You should turn professional.
I mean, technically. Technically, this is us. This is ours.
Right.
Baby. But no, this is something we do want to do more often, and I'm starting to get the ball rolling to get more creators, contact them about, doing this for their stuff.
Yeah.
And this is our baby steps. Spike just...
It's a babby
Spike
steps.
just typed I, and then I have a question. Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, Spike wants to ask, why Iron Circus? This is a very self-serving question.
Because they picked it up.
I mean,
y'all said yes, that's why.
I mean, hey, that's a good as reason as any. I will say, y'all have forced me to reconsider some of my plans. Because I have a comic called Toxic Witches that I was going to pitch at some point, probably to Iron Circus and a few other people. And now I'm like, well, now I don't know if I can pitch it to Iron Circus because I think they're too similar.
Nah. You're toxic. Because Stars Hide Your Fire is, like, less about a toxic friendship, like, and more just, like, they're influencing each other.
I know, but, like, it's more about all the building blocks to, like, an outsider. It's gonna, like, this is the same story again.
I would disagree with that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are more differences other than just, it's a story of two friends. I mean, because if you want to, if you look at it,
well, no, I mean, it's Toxic Witches. Not to change the subject of the stream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fuck off, Spike. You're not part of this conversation.
She could be.
She could be, but she's not right now. Maybe later.
Well, she's not here.
They're in a little hometown where they feel trapped. The town is based on my town, which is kind of similar to where Kel grew up, where it has like a dead industry. Well, it has a current industry as opposed to a dead one. And the two girls, and it's a supernatural comic.
Well, so like, one of the conflicts is, Andrea wants to get out. Dara is sort of scared of the future. So Dara does not necessarily want to get out. She more wants to keep staying a kid because everything that she sees about the world outside their boring town, like their town might be boring, but it is safe. So like that is why Andrea gets sort of pulled in by Carmen, who is like, look at all the exciting things I can give you. And Dara more lines up with Liam, who he made his deal with Carmen because he was also scared about the future, because he grew up right around World War One. So he had World War One, then the Spanish flu, and so him and Dara have some teen Liam and teen Dara have some similar concerns about the future being a scary place. War and plague.
Okay, fair. I think I'm just gonna. Once your book is proper out, well, I can actually. I can read it now. Fuck everyone.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm the host. I should have more decorum.
I think that we're happy you're here.
Fart on everybody in the chat and watching right now. I can read it right now. Y'all have to wait. So I will have to read it and just double check that I'm not like retreading on anything.
Yeah, so there's a couple of scenes where Dara tries to point out the nice things about their town to Andrea, who is like, nope, this town sucks, I'm out of here.
Fair. Okay, so it sounds like they're different enough, and I'll need to read y'all's, because again, Spike wants toxic witches, so it's like, I don't want... This is from a very mercenary marketing point of view. I don't want to have two books that are basically like get confused by the same publisher, especially at this current state of things. So that is a concern. I've been listening to y'all talking and thinking the whole time, like, I haven't read this in full yet. I need to read it in full.
Well, you could get your copy if you follow the Kickstarter. No, I'm kidding.
If you're not me, now if you're me, you can just walk up to the pre-press people in Iron Circus and say, give it to me. Right. But if you're you and listening, you can get it from our Kickstarter.
I've been putting it on my Patreon, and it's been fun to read people's comments as like it comes out a page at a time on my Patreon. So like there is Carmen is introduced, and whenever she does magic, she creates nightshade flowers and foxglove flowers. Which do not eat, they are poisonous.
Shit.
So, and then Liam is introduced, and he is basically cleaning up the flowers that Carmen left behind. And one person was all like, in the comments was like, okay, so before this page, I was like, who would be so cruel as to lock a fae in a building full of iron? And then I got to this page and it was like, oh, someone who cares about the damage the fae is doing. Because he explains that he is picking up the flowers because animals might eat them and get hurt. And that is a good sort of introduction to the two of them.
All right, I have dropped a link into the chat for the Kickstarter. Our channel's kind of small right now, our YouTube channel, so I imagine everyone watching right now already knows about it. But just in case, there it is, if anyone wants to watch back.
And everyone who is watching the Iron Circus stream, Joe and I stream every Wednesday at noon Pacific Standard Time on my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/KelMcDonald. We usually I'm
just
drawing and we just sort of chat and shoot the shit, talk about whatever nonsense we watched that week. I just watched season 4 of Fargo. That was really good. So if you want to hang out, ask Joe and I more questions as you read the book or about any of our stuff, you can find us there every week.
I just rewatched.
I was gonna say I'm only 4 followers away from 50, which is what you need to be an affiliate on Twitch. So,
yeah, I became an affiliate, and in a year I got $100. Yeah.
Follow me on Twitch.
Follow me on Twitter, but I was just also gonna say because Kel said that they just finished Fargo season 4. I was like, well, I just rewatched for the first time in I don't know how long, Baby's Day Out.
Whoa!
And boy, do I have opinions about Baby's Day Out. So, if anyone is interested in hearing my opinions on, I can't stress this enough, 1994's, written by John Hughes, Baby's Day Out, stay tuned, because I will go on about it. Yes. I also watch a lot of other stuff, but yeah. So, yes.
Well, for the benefit, it seems like the stream's wrapping up, but for the benefit of the YouTube side of things, would y'all like to explain where people can find the rest of your stuff?
So all my comics are at kelmcdonald.com. I'm on Twitter as Kelhound, which is spelled like Hellhound but with a K. And then my Twitch is Kel McDonald on Twitch. And Instagram's currently broken at the moment, so I'm not going to promote that.
Yeah, I tried tagging you, I think it was the day before yesterday or yesterday. What is time? But yeah, so that is a bit of a bummer.
I literally just fixed my
Kel
Instagram.
A. McDonald on Instagram. It just hasn't updated because of weird security stuff.
Okay. Well, if you want to take a look at some of my comic book work, you can find that on josepimienta.com. That's where I post my professional work, if you will. I have other books. In case anyone is interested, I can talk about that later. But for the most part, you can find me on Twitter at Joe Pie. That's JoePi. And I'm on Instagram at the Joe Pie. That's TheJoePi. I don't tweet a lot of specific things. I usually just retweet. I usually just either retweet something that I think is very important to talk about, but that I haven't formulated a specific opinion about just yet, or YouTube videos about music that I like or that I'm listening to or that I think more people should listen to. And on Instagram, I usually just post either a sketch that I've been working on or some promotional stuff for any of the books that are coming up. So if you want to see like some of the initial sketches for any of my previous books and or any of the black and white art for Stars Hide Your Fire, you can find it on my Instagram. But no, the book is full color. Cal colored it themselves, and it's a beautiful book that we're very proud of and that we're very happy with. But yeah, other than that, I don't have a whole lot of other places to be online. So
speaking of Joe's book, I actually have been going on big library binges because my local libraries actually have graphic novels. I live in the middle of nowhere and they actually got them. And I have Suncatcher right now. I haven't read it yet. It's on my list of my, I think I have a stack of 20 library books I'm going through. But I just wanted to share with you that I was just flipping through it just to look at the art real quick. And I was like, yeah, it's a book about a band. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, and I didn't realize there was a supernatural element.
Oh, okay.
Because I stopped at a page where I'm like, this character's on fire. What is going on? Okay, clearly I have to read this in full. I need to stop just flipping through it. Because, like, I just picked it up, was like, yeah, it's just about a band, right? Like a band trying to get there. Why is this person on fire? Okay, well, I have to read this in full.
Thank you. Yeah.
Amanda, as a Sailor Moon fan, you'll be happy to know that there's a part where Carmen appears in a swirl of flowers. Yeah. In a swirl of flowers. And I said to Joe, so this is Zoisite, a villain in Sailor Moon.
Oh, God, I can see it. Because I used that page in the video, and oh, my God, I can see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thank you for checking it out, Amanda. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Yes, it is predominantly, I mean, it is in large part about a band. But yeah, no, there is definitely a supernatural element to it that, I mean, it is part of the pitch, which is, a teenage musician discovers that her grandfather's soul is trapped in a guitar. So, yeah, no, it's, yeah.
All right, so y'all ready to wrap up the stream, or do y'all want to do anything else?
We're good unless there are more questions.
Yeah.
We're all set.
Well, in lieu of more questions, thank y'all for tuning in. Our YouTube is still kind of small. We're still building it up. Like we literally established it and set it up on April 17th, so we're still climbing up there. We're going to be using this channel to promote current books, upcoming books, previous books, creators, events, things I'm trying to arrange. There's an interview with Spike, a panel with the Lackadaisy animators and creators and voice actors. I really want to get arrange that over here. So we're going to do ideally a Pride event because just coincidentally we have a lot of queer creators and queer books. So it's just kind of natural. So yeah, just stick around. We're going to have more stuff periodically, and see y'all.